To my things to do, where I like to make budget-friendly DIY crafts and easy to make recipes. Today I'm going to be making a reversible mask. I'm going to hand sew this because I don't own a sewing machine. This is the mask. Let's go get started. Fabrics, and they're going to be the same size. They're going to be 8.5 inches by 8 inches. This is for medium size. For larger, make it 9.5 by 9 inches. And you're going to cut that for both fabrics. Now we're going to take them both, fold them in half, and with your iron you're going to make a crease down the middle. This is the pattern. There is no pattern for this. This is so perfect. Now here we're going to measure from the top down 2 1/4 of an inch, and you can either pin it or mark it. For this material I used the pins because it would be hard for me to see any marks. And you're going to do that on the other side as well, from the top down 2 1/4 inches. From the bottom up, we're going to measure exactly 2 inches. And we're going to repeat that on the other side as well. Now I wanted to show you what it would look like if you just mark it with a pencil or a marker. The measurement is going to be exactly the same, 2 1/4 inches up top and 2 inches from the bottom. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold where those marks are. We're going to take those and fold them toward the middle. So taking the top, and you're just going to fold that toward that middle crease that we have. Iron that down really well so you have that. And then from the bottom, we're going to fold that up to the crease. And then iron that down as well. We're going to do this with both fabrics. And you can see the difference between the top and bottom there. I'm going to measure in about 1/4 of an inch so I know where I'm going to sew the pleats. This is going to be the front side of your fabric, and we're just going to sew right along where those folds are. We're not going all the way from one end to the other. We're going to do this to both sides of this fabric as well as the other one. The fabric over to the wrong side facing, fold over about 1/4 of an inch and iron that down. And then we're going to fold that and iron it down again. If you're wanting to put a nose piece in, this is where you would actually go ahead and put that in, right up underneath this fold. And see, it will fit right up underneath the fold. Just fold that over, and then you're going to sew along that line just to make sure that everything stays in place. But we're also going to do the same thing to the other piece minus the nose piece. We're only going to fold that over. And now just sew along the bottom part of this fold that you've done with the nose piece in it. You don't have to have the nose piece. This is only if you want to. And now we're going to fold 1/4 of an inch over after we've gone ahead and sewn the pleats down on this other piece of fabric as well. This side is not going to have the nose piece in it. So I'm just going to iron this down and then sew it right along the line. It's a lot easier to sew when you don't have the nose piece inside of there. I'll tell you that already. And now we're just going to go ahead and flatten the two pieces out. We're going to put them together, sew them together. And we're going to sew them with right sides facing each other. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure in 2 1/4 of an inch from the top, from one edge toward the middle, 2 1/4 inch in, and I'm going to mark that. This is where you're going to have your filter pocket and where you're going to use it to turn your mask inside out. We're going to repeat that on the other side. You only need to mark one piece, and I'm using my blue so that I don't have to pin it, so I see exactly where I'm marking at. And you see right there in the middle is where your nose piece is, plus that's where you're going to have your filter pocket. Go ahead and show you where you're going to put your elastic. You're going to measure in a 1/2 inch on all 4 of your corners, and you want to do that with the right side facing up. So I'm measuring in, and I'm going to pin down my elastic. The elastic I've used is I cut a 13-inch piece of elastic, and then I just cut that in half, so I'll have 6 1/2 inches of elastic on both sides. And I'm just going to go ahead and pin those down. And if you notice, when you pin it down, it'll be right on top of where you've sewn the pleats. And once I have all 4 sides of my elastic pinned down, I'm going to go ahead and then put my top piece on top. It'll have front sides facing each other. And I'm going to pin all the way around my mask so that I can make sure that I sew it good, because I am hand sewing this. Again, I don't have a sewing machine, so I'm hand sewing everything, and I've pinned this thing like crazy. And to make things easier for me, I start on the other side of where the opening is going to be and just sew right along the top edge. And then as I go around the mask, I'll be taking my pins out. When you get to the corner that have the elastic, you want to go in and out where that elastic is about 5 times to make sure it's secure. And then when you come back around, because of that nose piercing piece in there, I go just on the very top edge of the mask to sew the top of it closed. Again, you're not closing the entire thing because you have that small opening. I'm just cutting off the quarter, edges. You don't have to do this. It just makes it a little bit flatter when I turn everything inside out. And you just turn everything inside out, stick your fingers in where the edges are. You can also use that elastic to pull on it, and you'll see that you've made it strong enough also. Just go ahead and smooth everything out. Might want to iron it one more time just to make it even flatter. But this is it. The mask is finished. Of course, if you have a sewing machine, this is a whole lot faster, but you don't have to have a sewing machine. And to wear it, you'll just open it up in the middle, fit it to your face. Again, it's reversible, so either side. And here it is on. I love this mask so much. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Share the video with your friends. Leave me a comment if you've made this mask or you're wanting to make it. Let me know that. I've really enjoyed doing this. Today, my things to do is to make my mask reversible. Make it your thing to do too. Bye.